Welcome back to Teach a Man to Fish channel. Today's video is going to be ribs done on a Lodge Sportsman Grill. This is basically a hibachi for cooking over coals. It's a little bit of a unique cook because ribs get real tough on a high heat. That's why we're going to manage the fire real close on this cook. Let's go ahead and get started. I hope you enjoy the video. Here are the ingredients that we're going to need in this cook. Of course, we have a set of ribs, salt, pepper, cumin, onion, paprika, and optional, I like a little bit of spice in mine, a little bit of cayenne to go in there. And you'll notice that there is BBQ sauce in here. That's optional, but I will forewarn you, you'll notice that none of the rest of these ingredients have sugar in it. This would only go on at the very tail end of the cook, because the sugar will turn into carbon very quickly on this hibachi. So really you'd only be putting that on at the end. Let's go ahead and get our rub made and the rib prep for cooking. If you'll notice in this next little segment of video, you'll see that these ribs, I will be taking the back membrane off of the ribs. There's all kinds of debate surrounding whether or not you pull the membrane off the back, but I can guarantee you your flavor will not get past that membrane into the ribs. I remove it, you do what works for you. All right, there it is. We've got the rub on, and you'll notice that the paprika is the most visible spice. Separate as the rub, we went ahead and sprinkled this paprika on. It's what will give this rib a nice eye appeal, or the color will show up nicely with that smoked paprika spread across it. So there you go. Let's head on out to the grill. Now you notice that layer isn't very deep. Doesn't take much on the Lodge. We'll let this settle down a bit. Then get my lid, my backyard style of cooking, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. So those of you who have seen some of my other videos, you've seen me use a roaster pan as a part of the cook, and I do the same thing in this one, thus turning this hibachi grill into kind of a slow cooker or a smoker. It's just another addition to it. There's holes drilled in the top so that the heat can filter through. And there's my fancy addition to it. Old grill, just drilled a hole and threw a thermostat on there. Also, these gloves are handy to have around the grill. Make it possible to handle all these grill parts without having to worry about getting burned. There'll be a link below in the description where you can get these gloves. So it's a bit windy of a day, so this cover does a good job of cutting out that wind and allowing that heat to go through. So we're sitting just below 200 degrees right now, which is right around where I want to be. And from this point forward, it's basically rotation, flipping the ribs over and watching that heat to make certain it doesn't get away from you. Let's put the ribs on. Now we'll just monitor that, keep an eye on it, make sure everything goes smoothly. This is that portion where we want to be monitoring that temperature closely, and then periodically doing a flip. You can see this is the first flip that we've done. Right there in the center, we've already got some blood showing through the meat, which means that temperature is going clean through. Time to flip. Look at that color. So you'll see that temperature can get a little bit high. So this is where you're playing that watching and flipping game. Just keeping a close eye to make certain that that fire doesn't get away from you. And these are cooking just perfectly. Again, from here on out, it's just managing the heat. What you'll also have to continually do as a part of this cook is periodically you'll have to add in coals in order to keep that temperature up, because the temperature will drop off and you have to keep it going. So again, that's part of managing the fire during this cook. As you can probably tell from the amount of wind that we're having on a day like today, I'm not having to have the fire door open at all. So I'm not having to provide any oxygen. As a matter of fact, I'm throttling it back in order to keep that temperature from getting away from me. And here they are. We'll go ahead and get those inside, let it rest for a bit, then cut them up, have them for a meal. Now that these ribs have rested, let's go ahead and get them cut up and put onto the plate. There we have it. So good. And again, I don't put the sauce on, not always, especially when I'm watching my carbs. I won't be eating those potatoes, but there's a lot of flavor in this, and it's very tasty just with that dry rub on it. Excellent way to cook the ribs. I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll notice something new in the description down below. There's a Patreon link. I've set that up for those of you who wish to support the channel a little bit further. You'll get access to some bonus features and some content that you're not going to get on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click like, subscribe, share, and come on back for more. Today's video is going to be ribs on a